Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Oh, you guys are in for a treat in this video. Here recently, within the last couple of weeks, I've had a couple of people ask me if I would revisit this spot out here in the middle of not necessarily in the middle, but in the Pacific Ocean. So I did. I analyzed this many years ago, and we're going to analyze it again today. It's actually pretty cool. Stick around. You don't want to miss it. We're going to talk about some other things as well, as always. Got a lot of cool things to share with you guys. What's up, Rick? Yeah, the possibilities are somewhat infinite out here, but we're going to go take a deep dive, literally, into the Pacific Ocean here in just a couple of minutes. So hang tight. Don't go anywhere. Laughing Taffy, I like that. Can you guys hear me good? How's the sound today? Sometimes the volume is, can be a little bit sketchy. Is the volume good? I hope so. What's this? Yeah, we get yeah, right. Doing good. Hey, what's up, Ghost K9, AG, Rick Stewart? Hi, everybody. Loretta, is the back buffeting and a low volume? Okay, let me see what I can do about that. Hang on just a second. Thank you for the feedback, because sometimes I never know how this volume is going to turn out. Ching. And let's see, I just adjusted it a little. Hopefully that's better. All right, good deal, good deal. Is that a little bit better, guys? Karen Reed was framed. Oh, cool. Thanks for the thumbs up. Is it hot in your part of the world today? Let me know. It's been kind of decent out here in Arizona. Anybody else hit the hundreds today? All right, good. Thank you, guys. Hey, what's up, Steve? Gladys, Ralph, hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. We're going to take a deep dive literally into the Pacific Ocean here in just a little bit. Check out this cool photo here of the moon that was in my Dropbox this morning. This is a modified black and white view of the moon. Check this out. And I don't know who to thank. Somebody sent this to my Dropbox this morning, and it was hot, huh? Nice. I know it's been decent here. I can't say it's been super hot, but it's going to be probably a hot summer. 98 in Pennsylvania. Ay, ay, ay. 100% humidity. That makes it feel like it's 500 degrees. Oh, man. And you know what? Out here in Arizona, you can factor in just 10% humidity on a 105-degree day. And I mean, it is almost unbearable. It really is. That humidity makes a big difference. It really does. They say Arizona's got the dry heat. Well, it used to. It used to, but it just doesn't feel like dry heat anymore. It's kind of weird. Hot in Utah, cooking in Texas. I believe it, guys. Yeah, 100 AC went out. Call Valley-wide cooling in Arizona, AZ Mesa. Valley-wide cooling, and tell them Mr. MBB 333 sent you. I know these folks very well, and I know they will treat you good. So once again, Valley-wide air conditioning in Arizona. They did an absolute phenomenal job for me and my family, and I know they'll treat you right too. Can't go wrong. Valley-wide, look them up. They're very, very good. 102 in Southwest Louisiana. 102. Is that the heat index, my friend? Well, I hope that's the heat index, because if it's 102, thank you, Golden Trinity. Yeah, sometimes the volume, I don't know why. Sometimes the volume is kind of wonky on this thing. I got a really good microphone, but I don't know if it's connection, my OBS software. I don't know. But anyway, back to the moon. I'd like to say thank you to whoever sent this to me. It was in the Dropbox this morning. Very cool stuff. I really appreciate that. Black and white. I've never seen this type of detail. I mean, it's not like it's 4K, but it's still very cool, and I appreciate that. So whoever sent that in, thank you. Very, very cool stuff. I get stuff in the Dropbox every day. I keep the Dropbox over here on this laptop, and basically what I do is scan it over here before I transfer it over here. It's a whole thing. Then go through the email, and yes, I'm still getting videos of all kinds of cool stuff going on around the world. As promised, a hurricane update as we are officially in hurricane season. Nothing to worry about unless you're along the west coast of Mexico, down around Acapulco. What you're looking at is a storm brewing. Doesn't necessarily look like it's going to make landfall. What I'm showing you over here from Adventure Sky is a possible Category 3 storm hugging the coast right down between, I don't know, Acapulco and Manzanillo, between June 28th and, I don't know, all the way up into possibly July 4th, peaking right here on June 30th. But again, that's not going to be a problem for anybody over here in the Gulf or the Caribbean Sea or the coasts of Florida or even up the eastern seaboard. So no problems, guys, and nothing in the foreseeable future. So no hurricanes to even talk about, really. Nothing brewing either. And I've had people ask me about the incoming solar storms. Guys, there's no incoming solar storms. So, just be careful where you're getting your information. It seems like amateur hours, the flavor of the day these days. And I've been doing this a long, long time, and there's no CMEs coming towards the Earth now, and there's probably not going to be any in the near future unless things change exponentially and very, very quickly, because the sun has been asleep for the last 72 hours. As you can see over here by looking at the GOES X-ray flux, here's looking at incoming solar storms. And looking at the solar wind speed and the plasma density, it's not really going to even go up any more than what a normal day would be. So not too much happening. And what sunspots and active regions we do have are down here south of the equator. So that energy, if and when they do decide to, release some energy, it's going to veer south of the Earth. So not much going on in that regard, guys. It's quiet. And again, be careful where you get your information. Tomorrow, I've got some really cool things for you guys. So look for tomorrow's video. I'm still working on it. In fact, I was working on it just prior to going live here. We're going to talk about Earth's atmosphere. And what's going on with Earth's atmosphere could possibly be going on. So stick around or make sure you're around for that. But back to Google Earth. I've had a couple of people ask me to check this out. I've learned some new techniques since the last time I looked at this several years ago. And I'm going to show you guys the techniques that I used and what I found. It's actually quite interesting. And once I found this new, I don't know, it's some sort of a personality feature of this thing, it totally steered my way of thinking into a different direction. Because at first I'm thinking, okay, there's something down here moving along the ground out here in the Pacific Ocean, and that's where we're at. We're out here off the coast of the United States, actually. I believe British Columbia. We are right out in here. Okay, and I'm going to take you guys in close, and we're going to analyze what looks like something possibly round that could have crashed in the ocean many years ago. Trust me, guys, truth is indeed stranger than fiction, so nothing surprises me, and this very well could have happened, okay? I could show you an area of something that's very clearly what looks like, let me put it to you this way, it's old and it's very, very big. And this thing here is big. I've seen bigger, believe it or not, 12,400 feet across, and you say, what in the world could possibly fly that's 12,400 feet across? Hey, man, I'm with you. I'm totally on board because I've never seen anything like that either. But you can't help but deny some of this stuff. What you're going to see here in a few minutes, it really leans towards that world, that direction. I could show you something that's 11 miles wide. I really could. I could show it to you today, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it just yet, but there's evidence of something on the bottom of the ocean that is 11 miles long, and you can see it. So I'll share it someday, but not today. We're going to focus on this, okay? That's why nothing surprises me. This thing here being 12.4, that's, a little over 2 miles. That's a baby compared to something that I could show you guys. But anyway, when you look at this thing open-mindedly and I've done work with ancient aliens, and we talk about and theorize about the possibility of ancient flying machines. I mean, it's not far fetched at all. In fact, there's an upcoming new episode, new season this year. It should be out any day. I'm in this episode, me and Travis Taylor. Travis is doing a lot of really good work up at Skinwalker Ranch up in Utah. In fact, there's somebody in the chat room from Utah, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Skinwalker Ranch. Travis is up there all the time, and they're trying to track down these anomalies up there. Well, Travis and I analyzed video footage for this season's episode of Ancient Aliens, and it's some really cool stuff. So make sure you check it out. The new episode of Ancient Aliens, and Travis obviously is a very smart guy. Travis is a rocket scientist. So Travis is a rocket scientist, and I have fun working with Travis. So anyway, here we are. We're back in the Pacific Ocean. I put this at a tilted angle. I went down and I tilted it. So obviously, I'm looking for things that are recognizable, and I'm probably not going to find anything recognizable, but we got to look, right? Wait till you see what I found. It does look recognizable, and I was like, there you are. It took me a long time to get there, and since the last time I analyzed this, I've learned a lot of new different techniques, and I've got some different software that I use. The software wasn't even available, like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago when I analyzed this. And I've learned some tricks with this software that are unique to me. That's why a lot of these folks ask me to analyze things for them. Ancient Aliens, one of the guys over at History Channel, the guys and gals, they're good gals over there too. Good guys and gals, good people in general. But anyway, here we go. It looks like to me something could have impacted the water and then slid. You know how when you skip a rock, I remember doing it as a kid. You throw a flat, semi-flat object across the water, and when it hits the water, it curves real fast. Well, that's my way of thinking here. Whatever this is, to me, it looks like it impacted the water at a semi-high rate of speed, not necessarily too fast. It just maybe landed in the ocean, and then when it hit the water, it turned real quick and slid along the bottom of the ocean there. And I'll take you guys to the exact location. But what I've done, I've taken these techniques that I've learned over the years, and I managed to pull forward something that's hidden right here in plain sight. Oh, yeah. Wait till you see this. It's coming up here real soon. So anyway, that's just kind of the direction I'm leaning right now, that possibly some form of ancient technology landed out here, because there's clearly some sort of movement here that's very uniform. This is around 2 miles wide, and I know that sounds crazy. What could possibly be 2 miles wide, that could fly? I get it. I'm on board with you, but that's what we're looking at here. It's undeniable. In fact, let's measure it real quick. Let me go to here just to show you that you can't make this stuff up. Here we go. Let's measure side to side here. 12.8, convert to, we'll do miles. Okay, 11. Wait a minute, that's 11 miles? No, that's 2 miles. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. 2.4 miles wide, and we can convert it to kilometers. Let's do it. 3.93 kilometers wide. That's this little trail, like maybe something went into the water and then slid along the bottom of the ocean. I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box, because when you see things like this, and there's clearly something going on here that had a shape to it, it left a unique pattern on the surface of the ocean, you got to think outside the box, I mean, it is what it is, but what is it? That's what we're trying to figure out. Let's measure this thing here, that you're going to see something very unique on here that nobody's ever found. I went back in time. In fact, I even used the time machine on here, and I like the old time machine better. Let's put it that way. But I went back and looked at some old videos that people have analyzed this, and nobody used this technique that you're about to see, at least that I found. Looking at this little object itself, it's not really little. I get it. 3.35 kilometers. Let's go to miles. There you go, 2.08. So decent size, to be honest, I've seen bigger, but that's a good size object. And it appears round, right? Or semi-round, kind of oval shape. Well, there's some detail on here that's not visible from this perspective. There's something back here that you're going to see that reminded me of a possible power source, or what's left of a power source. So anyway, back to the analysis. These are different techniques that I use to pull forward any possible features. Let me move this up to the top, and here we go. Okay, so this one here doesn't really have a name to me. It's number 7. Okay, and here's number 8. We're seeing different things on this, and again, you're going to start to see something materialize, and it took me probably 20 or 25 different techniques and different approaches and different things. It took a lot more than that, to be honest. I worked on this for 2 hours until I finally got something that I'm like, there you are, that we could actually work with, you know. There was something to work with here. There is something to work with here. But again, this trail is very consistent with the shape of this object. So the trail being a little bit wider, that tells me if in fact it did land in the ocean and make an impact on the bottom of the ocean, it made the trail you see here a little bit wider than the craft itself. And then the craft came to rest right over here. And it's been there for who knows how long. But we measured it, and being so big, I mean, it's over 10,000 feet wide, how would you ever retrieve something like that out of the ocean? We don't have equipment big enough to pull something like that out of the ocean and analyze it, so it's going to have to stay there. I mean, it's very, very big. But again, I could show you something bigger, and I will someday. So, okay, again, this is another technique. Again, trying to pull forward features, and there were some things on the top that were curious, but not enough clarity. This one here brightened up pretty good. A little bit of pixelation. Obviously, there's quite a bit of pixelation, but still, it's manageable and it's workable. Again, you can see the trail back here. That's a little wider than the object itself, whatever it may be. Looks like it was moving, right? At one time, it clearly looks like it was moving across the floor. In fact, I want to do something real quick. Hold on. I'm going to get to the really good stuff here in a minute. Let's see how far it moved, okay? Let's measure. And we'll even measure from the backside here, okay? Let's go from here to here. Nearly, well, right at 10 miles. So 10 miles from the point of, let's say, impact to where it came to rest over here. And in kilometers, that is 16.12 kilometers, 10 miles. It possibly slid across the bottom of the ocean. Pretty cool, right? Here we go, back to the analysis. So this one here turned out pretty good, but I still wasn't happy with it. I still kept going. It took me 2 hours to finally pull forward something that I was happy with, because I knew, and if you're determined enough and you try hard enough, you can be successful at this stuff. And there's something there. I've just felt very strongly there was something back here. So it's a series of techniques that do work. You just have to work at it. So again, here's another technique that I used. Just took away a lot of the darkness and left a little bit of light. Here's another technique. We're getting closer. Trust me, you guys are going to be like, yo, there is something back there. And it doesn't appear to be perfectly round either, as you're going to see here in a moment. Now, this one here was nice and clean. I liked it. It wasn't overly pixelated, and that was my goal. I wanted to remove a lot of the pixelation and get a good look at, okay, what's going on here. So this is the format that worked. You don't see as much of the pixelation. You can see the little, like, quick curve, and then it came to rest over here. There's something back here that you guys are going to see here in a minute. This is pretty cool, okay? And that's what led me to think, okay, maybe, just maybe, this was an ancient flying machine that just happened to make its way into the Pacific Ocean, or at least what we call the Pacific Ocean. Trust me, guys, truth is stranger than fiction. Guarantee it. Okay, so we're getting closer. You're starting to see something come back here, right? You're starting to see it be revealed. There's starting to be something up here on the top revealed. And it's not necessarily perfectly round. Okay, we're getting there, all right? Let's go. Something on the back starting to reveal itself. This format here, I left a lot of the darkness, took away a lot of the light. And again, it's just a series of techniques over and over, a lot of repetition. And I was trying to eliminate. I couldn't quite get this to 4K. The work I do for Ancient Aliens, I always get it to 4K. In fact, what you're going to see in this upcoming episode of Ancient Aliens, I did all the video work that you're going to see. I converted it to 4K. So it's in its optimal, it's in its Sunday best, let's put it that way. It's a really cool episode. You guys are going to enjoy it. So look for that coming up anytime on the History Channel's Ancient Aliens. Okay, you starting to see it? Look on the back side of this thing. So I don't know if this would be the front or the back. However it landed, its orientation obviously is completely unknown, but there's clearly something sitting here that looks like it could be of intelligent origin, right? Here we go. Now, it went back to, once I added the light back in here and I kind of switched some colors. I used a whole variety of different colors. And sometimes just switching the colors can give you an entirely different look, right? But unfortunately, it brought back some pixelation, but that's okay. We can work with that. But you're starting to see something back here, right? We're going to get closer, and then you're going to be like, bingo, there it is. It took a while to get there, but it was worth it. There's something here, guys, and it's worth talking about. This should be out. They should have teams of scientists out here studying this. It's for real. Okay, here we go. We're getting close, getting closer. This is another technique. This one here, it was okay. I went ahead and included it. Several of them I didn't even include for the presentation because they, some of them just don't turn out good. That's just the nature of analyzing videos and photos. Here we go. Watch this. Look at the back side of this thing. A perfect rectangle with something on both sides of the rectangle. Wow, there was something hiding there from us this whole time. And I haven't ever seen it. And this has been around. This isn't necessarily anything new. But this approach that you're seeing right now is brand new today. Nobody's ever found this. So somebody needs to be on a ship and they need to be out there investigating this, whatever it is. Because there's something back here that is highly uniform. That is a perfect, nearly perfect rectangle that survived. We're going to go in even closer. Check it out. Right there. See it? It was hiding in the shadows back here. There's a brighter version of it. There's something there. There's something over here on the left. And coincidentally, something of equal size and proportion on the right. And if you just look at it from a general point of view, it just looks like it's just dark, there's nothing there. Oh no, there's something there that's highly uniform. So we're going to go back even closer. There we go. There it is. To me, looks like it could be part of an old, part of its energy source. I don't know, that was its propulsion system at one point in time. There's the front. So this is the way I'm starting to look at this now. This is the front up here where I have my arrow. This is the back. This was the propulsion system that wrapped all the way around the machine. It makes you wonder, is this where the Star Wars movie got its idea, huh? From the old, what do they call it, the Millennium Falcon? Yeah. There's the backside of it, and that's its energy source. This one here's a little rough, but again, I brought back the darkness, but I was trying to profile the top part up here just to see if I could pull forward, any straight lines. And there are straight lines and angles up here on the top of, what could be an old machine from long, long ago. Look at that. There you go. There's that rectangle on the back of this thing. How about that? That brought it completely out. And it took me about 20, that was probably my 25th attempt, and it finally came out. There it is. That's what's in that shadow right there. It's there. And whatever it is, there's something of a different type of material That's why it's a different color that's wrapping around this thing. See the color variations? That tells you it's a different composition. Based off the techniques that I use, that's a different composition. This back here is a very different composition, whatever it is. Somebody needs to be out there studying this thing. So back here, there's a rectangle that's never before been pulled forward until today. We did it. We pulled it forward. So I want to thank you guys for sending this in. I did analyze this many, many years ago. But again, I didn't have the same techniques. And between then and now, I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours of more experience. So I can, if it's there, I'll find it. If it's there, I'll find it. If it's findable, here's the coordinates: 49, 50, 43 north, 140, 13, 21 west. And it is, I believe, right off the coast. Let's see how far it is. I think it's out off the coast of, right between British Columbia and Washington, you know, the state of Washington. Hold on just a second. Okay, let me see if I can. Well, I will. I'll just take you guys right to it. Here we go. Google Earth. Now, and in a second, we're going to go down under the ocean. I'm going to show you guys something that, yeah, okay, it's off the coast of, yeah, Vancouver, heading right there. British Columbia. Kind of close to the Bering Sea, right? Right there. So what we're going to do, check this out. So to me, it looks like something went in the ocean there long, long ago, okay? So if we go down into the water, if we can use the underwater feature, which we're going to, and we tilt, watch what happens. Check it out. Look at that. So it's got a slope to it. It's a little difficult to maneuver. Hold on just a second. Let me turn it around. Okay, you can see there's hills over here that are round, right? They're not like this here. When you get up to the edge of this thing, it looks like, there you go. There's the edge of this thing. There we go. Boy, it's very, very finicky. Hold on. I'm getting there. Right there. There you are. Come back here. Get over here. There it is, right there. Okay, now we're going up to the edge. There's the edge. What? There you go. There's the edge. So I'm tilting it, and there's the edge. It's like got a fairly tall side to it. There you go. There's looking down the side of it. Now, I don't know if this is an actual perfect replica of what we're looking at, but kind of gives you an idea. It doesn't show a perfectly like a round hillside or whatever. It's got a very defined point there. Now I'm turning around, going to the back side, and you can see it's at a slope. So it looks like it was possibly aerodynamic or is aerodynamic, whatever's laying down there. Let's tilt it again. Okay. Boy, you move it just a millimeter and it moves at a mile. Okay. So I'm trying to get to the backside. Here we go. Yeah, it slopes. There you go. A little better there. You go in. You have that very definitive tall side to it that kind of goes up to a point. There's looking down the front side. We're going to go to the back. And then here's looking down. Yeah, there's your slope right there. See it slope down. Now we're going to go back behind it. And go turn the heading. There you go. It slopes up. And right there it is. See that crisp edge? Look at that. It's not showing you a roundish. There you go. Look at that. Goes up to a point. See if you move it just a little bit. But like that one over there, round, round. This one's not round. So I don't know exactly what happened here many years ago, but it's at least very curious. We found something on the back side of this thing that, to the best of my knowledge, has never been found. It's right back here. There's a rectangle back here that looks like it could have originated from intelligent technology. From when and where, your guess is as good as mine, guys. I don't know. I'm just the analyzer. If it's something that can be uncovered underneath the darkness and light, I'll pull it forward. I can get it out. It may take a while, like this one here. It took a couple hours worth of work. And I remember analyzing this years ago. But again, I didn't have the techniques that I do today. So we did pull forward something. There's something along the backside of this thing that looks very curious indeed. Looks like to me something may have landed in the water many, many years ago. And there it is off the coast of British Columbia, sitting there plain as day, so to speak, right? Pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that, guys. To be honest with you, I hadn't thought about this in years. I'd forgotten about it, to be perfectly honest. We're always focusing on the sky. And then there's a whole variety of things to focus on. There's so much stuff going on in the world today. I can't even keep up with it anymore. And you know what? I don't even try. Just know it's going to be okay. All this madness that's going on. I wanted to show you guys something else here real quick. Okay, I did that. Did we look at the power outages? Let's look at the power outages real quick. And the Schumann. Power outages, Schumann. Tomorrow's video. We got power outages again today. What's up with the storms? There they are. Brewing again, going through the northern tier. So Michigan, 43K. New Jersey, 26K. New York, 19K. Pennsylvania, 15K. California is always on and off the grid because they do these like rolling blackouts, from what I understand, to conserve energy. I could tell you guys a story about conserving energy, and I will someday, but not today because it's a longer story, but it's a true story. And it may apply to you guys too. I don't know, but yeah, I'll share it with you someday. Oh, and there's another story I want to talk about just real quick because I have never heard of this, especially with regard to a planet. We supposedly live on a planet, right? Well, why would there be? And this article goes back to January 3rd of 2025, so it's just from this year. Equatorial plasma bubbles and their effect on air travel. Have you guys seen this or read about this? I've been reading it, and I'd never heard of a plasma bubble. I've heard of plasma bubbles on the sun, but we don't live on the sun, right? Yeah, it's kind of an interesting article. They say that these equatorial plasma bubbles can disrupt air traffic communications. So this is a new phenomena, and it ties into, we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, and the atmosphere. And what this says, I'll just read a small portion of it to you guys. Earth's atmosphere contains some powerful phenomena. Oh, does it ever? And not just storms like hurricanes and blizzards. For example, Earth's upper atmosphere features a fascinating phenomenon known as equatorial plasma bubbles. That's correct. You heard it right. The lower density pockets reside in Earth's ionosphere, starting roughly at 50 miles above the Earth's surface. Sounds like to me they were following Mr. Tesla. Mr. Tesla understood the power of the ionosphere, and he knew there's infinite power up there. So I don't know if this has anything to necessarily do with that, but we're going to talk more about it mañana, tomorrow. So stick around for tomorrow's video. I've got some really cool stuff to share with you guys regarding the Earth's atmosphere. And there is something going on with the Earth's atmosphere. We've been following the UV for years. And guys, I got my instruments right over there. I take UV readings every other day. And the thing of it is, and I always start around right now, the first day of summer. And that's when it's peak UV in the northern hemisphere. In the wintertime, the UV is low all over the northern hemisphere. It's all about the sun angle. The sun angle determines the UV. Highest UV is always at noon wherever you live. But when I take UV readings, and I do take them here every other day in Arizona, it's only applicable to Arizona. It's not going to be applicable to your neck of the woods, so to speak. But I'm going to be honest and say that the UV hasn't really been out of pocket. It's been 11, 11.6, 11.4. I think one day I had a 12. That's not uncommon for this time of year. But trust you me, if the UV gets up into the 14 range, you will be the first to know. So sometimes no news is good news. So I was sharing them on other platforms earlier, and then it just hadn't changed. So I'm like, okay, I'm just being repetitive, telling people that the UV is right where it should be for Arizona. Now, the UV up in British Columbia, I will say this, and Darren should start sending in UV readings here, really soon. He always starts at the beginning of summer, but Darren lives up here in Abbotsford. Now, here's the anomaly, and I'm going to be talking about this summer because this is weird. It shouldn't be this way. Darren lives up here in Abbotsford, British Columbia. In fact, he lives right here, okay, at the, 49? That's the 50-degree north latitude. There's no way, based off of what we know about UV, the atmosphere, the density of the atmosphere, and that's something else we're going to talk about tomorrow. If you understand the Earth and the atmosphere is thicker the higher up you go in the latitudes of the Earth. If I put the view on, where's the view ski? Tools. There we go, view. Let's turn on the grid. Where's the grid lines? Right here. Okay. The higher up you go in latitude, the lower the UV should always be because the atmosphere is always thicker the higher up you go. The atmosphere is thinner down around the equator. Thinner, higher UV. Thicker atmosphere, lower UV. It's just basic physics, okay? It's how the world and the energy of the world flows, okay? There's no way, but it's been this way for several years, and we're still trying to figure this out. Darren's readings up in Abbotsford, British Columbia, and I'm down here at the, believe it or not, I'm at the 33.3 degrees south latitude, or north latitude. Imagine that. That's where I live, 33.3. Darren's up here at 50 degree north. So he's 17 degrees farther, 16 and a half, north than I am. So his UV should really never be over 10. But he's sending me consistent readings above 12, 13, and 14 from southern British Columbia. Now that is an anomaly. So he'll be sending me readings here soon, and I'll share those readings with you guys, and we'll talk about it and try to figure out what's going on. But there's no way that the UV should ever be higher in southern Canada than it is down here in southeast Phoenix, Arizona. But it is. So there's an anomaly going on in the atmosphere, and it's very specific to this part of the Earth. And I don't know what's causing it, and I'm anxious for Darren's first reading. In fact, I'm going to send him an email when I get through with this live stream, and I'll be expecting his UV readings sometime this week or next week. But there's an anomaly going on, and it goes back to, like they were talking about, these plasma bubbles. Is there some kind of a bubble up here that's creating higher UV than down here in Arizona? That doesn't make a lick of sense. And even the higher up you go, up here around Greenland and Iceland, Norway, they should never have high UV because they're dealing with a much thicker atmosphere all the time. So there's an anomaly there, guys, and it's something that we discovered 4 years ago, and it was still like that, let's put it this way, at the end of last summer. I haven't gotten a reading from Darren yet. That's his name, Darren. Real good guy from southern British Columbia, Abbotsford. I'll start getting readings here soon. And I used to have guys send me readings, and gals, from Idaho, Oregon, California, Florida. Let's see, where else? New York there briefly. And every once in a while, we would get anomalies that would pop up during the summer months, and they were rogue and random, just like the flashing lights. I've got a update to share with you guys later, not today. I'm still working on it, but I've got some really bizarre flashing lights examples that they keep coming in every day, guys. I can't help it. I'm over 1,700 now. 1,700 different examples from different people that do not know each other from all around the world. All around the world. I've gotten examples from New Zealand, Australia. I've gotten examples from Malaysia, the Philippines, Thailand. I haven't gotten any from India. Haven't gotten any from Pakistan. I've gotten one from right here on the island of Cyprus. Yes, out here in the middle of the Mediterranean, or the far eastern edge of the Mediterranean Sea. Cyprus. I've gotten them from Germany. I've gotten them from France, Spain, Ireland, Scotland, the United Kingdom, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. All these places. Canada, multiple places in Canada. So it's more than just bulbs. There's something going on around the world that's affecting lights, and they're trying to tell us a story. That's all. It's not the end of the world, that there's a change going on. And we monitor over here, Earth changes. So we're on to something here, and we're going to stay on it until we figure it out. That's all. It's not a bulb issue, I promise. At least I feel that very strongly, because I'm in a unique position here. I get videos and photos from people all around the world every single day. So I have it's a privilege to sit here and be able to look at what's going on in Hawaii and New Zealand and Australia and up in Sweden and the United Kingdom and Canada, all in an hour. All in an hour. Sometimes I'll get videos from all those places in one day, and I can see the skies and what's going on in those locations in one day. So it gives me a little bit of an edge. I can connect dots easier, you know. So these dots have been connected all around the world, at least from my reality. There's something going on, guys, and it involves way more than just bulbs. So we're following it. I've gotten one from South America, too, every continent, I think. I just got one from down here in Brazil, and I think I've gotten one from, let me see. No, just Brazil. I was thinking, Chile. I've gotten one from, I'm sorry, Argentina. I've got one from Argentina and Brazil. So I've gotten a couple from South America. I've gotten them from Mexico. Got one from Mexico. I've gotten them every state in the United States. All of the states, Puerto Rico, multiples from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Are you serious right now? So they're still coming in fast and furious. They're not slowing down. I've gotten several today. And again, the total is now just over 1,700 globally and counting. They're still coming in. I haven't even showed you guys, a third of them? They're coming in faster than I can share them. But I appreciate it, guys, and keep them coming. There's something up. But anyway, back to the ocean. Hope you guys enjoy the analysis. I do think something, possibly, it's just a theory, something maybe landed here many eons ago. That's its trail it left behind. That's the object, whatever it may have been. It's probably covered a little bit with silt and things like that, but you get the idea. There's definitely something there that appears to have originated from intelligent origins. It's still sitting there to this day. There should be ships out there studying this thing off the coast of, British Columbia, Canada. That's quite fascinating, or it has the potential to be quite fascinating, and it does look like it has signs of, intelligent origins too, based off of that right there. There's something on the back of that thing that's, to me, looks like a possible old power source. Maybe that's what gave it the ability to fly the friendly skies. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. But that's the new analysis of the anomaly out in the North Pacific Ocean, the southern Bering Sea. All right, guys, no hurricanes to worry about for at least the next 10 days. I've looked at the 2-week forecast, but the 2-week forecast, you don't want to put a whole lot of stock in, because I've seen that change every single time. 10 days, the platforms and the software that I use, I'll stand behind a 10-day, and that's what I'm standing behind today. You shouldn't see anything in the Atlantic, the Caribbean, or the Gulf for the next 10 days. That's based off of what I'm seeing today, June 24th of 2025. All right, guys, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. How many people we got in here? 1,100. That's really cool. Joe, what's up, Joe? I want to say Hulking Colossus, Clune Nulk. What's up, Brady, Gregory? Thanks for stopping by, guys. Really appreciate that. Well, listen, hope you enjoyed the black and white of the moon. I want to thank again whoever shared that with me. That is super, super cool. Really appreciate that. Keep the photos and videos coming, guys. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those, as always, to reports at mrmbb333.com. If you have any videos you'd like to share that sometimes they're too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. It's very simple, mrmbb333.com. Look for this red tab right here that says Have a Large Video. Click on that. In fact, I'll show you how to do it. We'll click on it right now. Here we go. You click on it, it opens up a Dropbox. I don't use cookies, so just X out of that. Drag and drop your video into the Dropbox. And at the top of your video, if you could, like right here, let me show you. See, like this here, I'll show you. I don't know who sent me the moon. And that's the truth. This is what they put. They put black and white, BW, black and white moon. That's all they put. But you know, in that little area, you can put your name, date, and location, and that makes it great. Because I like sharing these things. In fact, I love sharing these things. But I also like to give you credit and at least the state. You know, you don't have to give your town if you don't want to. But location and obviously your name, I want to give you credit. So whoever sent this in, thanks again. And if you guys have something that you want to share, sometimes the email won't take a big video file for some reason. Drag it over here to the Dropbox. It'll take it. I've had people send me videos that were 2 hours long, so it can handle it. Just add your files, put your name, date, and location up there at the top, and then hit send, and I'll get it. I always check it first thing in the morning. That's what I do. I get up, have my coffee, and I go straight to the Dropbox. So the Dropbox, if you want to send it early in the morning, that's when I'll get it. So it's the first thing I do every day. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a super day. And as always, be safe out there.